Hi, I'm Lucy James, and I listen to the One Up Gaming podcast.
Hello, Andy. This is Colin. I won't be able to get in tonight. I'm sweating like a pig. I'm sweating like a pig. I'm sweating.
And it's still David, still One Up Gaming, still episode 409 of the One Up Gaming podcast. So, as always, sponsored by Games Inspired Music. Google it, search it. It's on like iTunes, on the Amazon store. If you buy it or if you stream it through like Spotify and all those sort of things, then 20% of each sale will go to the Child's Play charity. So please help us by helping them, or help them by helping us. One of the two, I don't know. And we've also got our first 100 podcasts available on audiobooksontape.com. Just search One Up Gaming, and every sale through them, we will donate £1 to the Diabetes UK charity. So again, help us and we'll help them. You know what the score is. We have 3 books available. The unofficial Sega Saturn collection, the unofficial PlayStation collection, and the unofficial Nintendo 64 collection. So all these books are available from Amazon. Just search for them. And make great presents, nice thick books, nice square books, more picture books. But each book has got over 100 games featured, and each game has got like 100 words, 200 words per game. Just sort of like talking about them. And they've also got like the controllers in the different colours, different variations of models, all that type of stuff. So 3 books available. Please buy them. It makes us really, really happy. So we'll go straight into the games played this week, and it's episode 409 of the games played this week. So first of all, we have Sebastien Loeb Rally EVO. And this was released, I believe, in 2016, 2017, that sort of time. It was made by Milestone, I think it was, who used to do a lot of racing games back then. And it's not a bad game. It's not brilliant, but it's not a bad game. It plays well, it handles well, it looks nice for the time. And it is just like your typical arcade-ified racing game, and it's a fun little game. So I would recommend Sebastien Loeb Rally EVO. Nice game indeed. Then next up we have Final Fantasy Type 0 HD. Now, because of the HD moniker, I would have a guess that this came out for the PlayStation Portable. I'd have a guess. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a massive Final Fantasy fan, but playing through a little bit of this, it seemed more dark. There's a lot more like death and things happening in the background, and it's like, ooh, some of these things that are happening are really quite scary. But what are you going to do? It's just a nice game. The story really gripped me, written really well, really deep. The first person you're watching on the titles and the introduction for the first 5-10 minutes, he dies. You thought he was going to be like the main guy, but he dies, and it's a great little story to start with. And if I had time and I had ambition, I would actually sit through and play a little bit more of this game. It really seemed fun and a nice game. So yeah, if you like Final Fantasy games, this one seemed more I was going to say, it's like more back to the originals with the turn-based strategy sort of stuff like the old Final Fantasy. It's not like these modern real-time sort of strategy games. Real-time strategy, you know what I mean, real-time combat and that. But yeah, this is a nice little game. I'd recommend it. It's a good little game. Next game that we played, Insurgency Sandstorm. Now, this is just your typical third-person action combat sort of game. Online multiplayer sort of stuff. And it played well, it looked nice. But they're all exactly the same. Ugh. Sneezies. But yeah, if you enjoy competitive shooters, I'm sure you're playing Call of Duty and all that type of stuff, and they've even got a free-to-play game, haven't they, Call of Duty sort of games. So I'm not 100% sure why you'd move on to this, because it's very similar to those Call of Duties. Not realistic enough to be a realistic shooter, but I think it's a little bit more simified than the Call of Duty games. But yeah, for me it was just a little bit slow, a little bit pedestrian, and you can get your thrills elsewhere for same price. So why bother? Next up, we have the Quarry, and this game is is it Supermassive? I can't remember now. Is that the ones who do those isometric sort of like action games? Can't remember. But anyway, this is made by the team who did the Cold Blood, Rush of Blood, what was it called? The PlayStation franchise that I've completely blanked on. I think it was something like, if I just put Rush of Blood. Rush of Blood, Until Dawn. Yeah, the Rush of Blood was the VR sort of game. But yeah, so Until Dawn, they're the ones who made the Until Dawn games, and they are really good, and this is really good. I really enjoyed what I played of it so far, and I haven't deleted it off my Xbox, so I will be going back into it. It's just a horror mystery sort of game, trying to work out what happened, why the police officer shoots his dick, and all that type of stuff. And yeah, I really enjoyed what I played. So I would easily say it's one of the better games I played this week. Gorgeous graphics. It seemed quite simple from the little bits I played. Like, there's like a lot of QTEs to try and when you're running away from things and dodging things, and then it cuts to like a little detective-y mystery bit where it's only like a small squared off area where you have to walk around, and when you go near a clue it says like the X button or whatever it says, and you press it and then it cuts into like the game again. So it seemed quite a simple but really well written, really well acted, gorgeous looking, really good game. So next up we have Hot Lap Racing. Now I played this for the Nintendo Switch, and considering it's for the Nintendo Switch, it played well, it looked nice, and it's the Simcade sort of racing game which you don't really see many of on the Nintendo Switch. And this one reminds me so much of like the Toka sort of games, the race driver games, where you have multiple cars to drive and ride around in and stuff. Circuit based, nice game. I've not got deep into it to know how the story elements sort of go and all that type of stuff, but from what I've played so far, it's a good little game and I'd recommend. Nice little game. So the next game we have, number 6, is Super Mario RPG, the remake, and although it looks a lot nicer and a lot shinier, it plays almost identically to the original game, which some might love, some might hate. I think that the original was a little bit too simple for me, and I don't play RPG games, so if it's simple for me, then it will be really simple for a lot of people, but that'll make it easier for people to get into. The graphics, they look like those diorama sort of like looking games that Nintendo have done recently, and yeah, it looks nice, it looks good, and I'd recommend that as well. So there's a lot of recommendations this week. And the last game we played this week is going back a little bit retro now, but Wave Race Blue Storm. And I've not actually played this game before, so I had a quick go on it. I loved Wave Race 64. I thought the controls, the movement, the momentum, everything was just absolutely sensational. Unfortunately, this sequel, the controls just weren't as good. They were a bit janky, a bit like you'd not turn, and all of a sudden you'd turn, or you'd press a button and you just wouldn't turn. It just didn't seem as fluid and dynamic. Don't get me wrong, it looked great, it looked amazing. The water, oof. Considering, what is it, 2005, 2002, that type of era. So a 20-year-old, it looked amazing. You know, it absolutely looked stunning, did the water effects. So yeah, but the overall game I wasn't massively impressed with. So Nintendo, I think you did the guys dirty. They did Wave Race, and I think they did the 1080 Avalanche, and I think you forced them to get these out for launch games, and I just don't think they had enough time to be baked and be ready to come out. But Nintendo knows best, don't they, guys? All you American guys, you all love Nintendo. But yeah, so that's the games played this week. Let us know in the comments which game you thought was the best one that we played this week. Any games you recommend for us for the Switch, for the Xbox, for the PC, PS5, anything. Any old classics that we need to get our hands on to have a quick go on. But yeah, so it's been David, One Up Gaming. This is episode 409 of the One Up Gaming podcast. And yeah, we'll have a quick break and we'll be back with the 10 minutes of nothing. So back in a couple of seconds.